that second half in particular, you just heard Chris Scott say at times it was like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can you talk us through it?
I think he's been generous there. We all used to watch them, didn't we? Yeah, we were pretty keen to test ourselves tonight against a really good football club. We know that they had a bit to play for. We identified a lot of threats and their individuals. So, look, really simply, yeah, it was a big turnaround, but at half-time, we thought early our pressure and all that was good, but we lacked composure with the ball. We were a bit fidgety with it and turned it over. And as they do, they make you pay really quickly. So that was the first quarter. Then the second quarter, we actually moved the ball really well. In the second quarter, if you think off turnover, we kicked 3-3 and they kicked 1 goal. Their other 5 goals were from stoppage. So centre square bounce was 1-8 in that quarter, and they kicked 3 goals. And around the ground, it was 0 entries to 5, and they kicked 2-1. So they kicked 6-1. This is the way we looked at it at half time. So 5 of those goals, 3 of them were out of the middle and 2 were around the ground stoppages. But when we got the ball and we could spread the ball and use it, we kicked 3-3 and to their 1 goal. So we thought the fundamental, where the biggest scoring source, were good. So we just needed to, it was pretty solid about our centre square bounces, how we need to get better and tidy up the stoppage work, but particularly centre square bounce. So we come out in the third quarter and we got some momentum out of the middle. We kick 2 goals, we have 4 entries, and they have 2 goals and a point. So it probably doesn't get recognised how important that facet is, and that's something we've struggled with on and off all year, and it was really hurting us in the second. So any momentum we're getting, they were just snuffing it with great play out of the middle. So that was a focus, and we come around and turned it. And then our ball use just continued to blossom, and as we got a bit of momentum off stoppage and centre square bounce, we sort of just grew. So so I said to the group at halftime, really believe in you, and trust me, we're in better shape if it's a big if, by the way, if you can fix this stuff. So I was pleased with how we continued to give effort and concentrate and try and improve our footy against what is a pretty good team.
Did you put the onus on the mids in particular? You mentioned that you needed to...
Did I what?
The midfielders, that group, it felt like Rowan...
Yeah, I'd tell you. So it was Rowe and all the mids and the coaches. We're all in together. So, it was a little bit solution-based, but it was also the team needs you to lift. And to their credit, they lifted. So when you challenge people, they need to respond, and they responded, and that shows good footy character.
How important was Darcy Wilson's leg speed in the forward half to what you're trying to do in the third quarter? It seemed like he really sort of changed, helped you move up the gears.
Yeah, Robert Harvey works closely with him. He's had a few good games, but he said it's probably his breakout game. But what's important is he's part of what we're doing, like with the young players, and he'll play every game for the year as a first-year player. So as our first-round draft pick, as Mateus did last year, and Mateus unfortunately didn't play tonight because of illness. So, yeah, specifically he gave us real life, and because Holmes was coming up onto the ball, so he was up with him. So, they throw a lot at you, Geelong, tactically, and Wilson was a part of that, and he just runs so well.
How much can you take out of a win like this? And also just the last couple of months, as a general rule, you've had, I think it's five of your last 7 wins? Like, it's been a good patch.
Yeah, look, it's hard. It's a long, hard year for everybody. We're frustrated. I think it was 4 goals by under a kick early in the year, and 10 wins, and we feel we're improving our footy. So since round 12, we just really focused on the character and culture piece and stayed on process for improvement, and we feel we're getting there. It's probably a bit late. I understand it's their first time at Marvel. It's different conditions. We struggled in the wet at Adelaide. We learned a lot out of that. So it's important to sort of just set foundations of competing and improvement and effort. And I thought we can tick that box. What it means in the greater scheme and where I list that, I'm not too sure. But I'd rather be doing that than not.
What does it tell you that you can have these? I think it's 4 times since round 14 you've had a 7-goal quarter, and you're doing that with kind of varying levels of personnel up forward. Does that please you in terms of how your system's functioning? Yeah,
of course it does. And early we had 9 entries in the first quarter, and couldn't score, you know. So, but it's that composure but it's learning to handle that heat. Like they really stamped us down at Geelong early in round one, and they were doing it a bit early. We were in there, but we just weren't composed enough. But I thought we grew into that. So hopefully we take some valuable lessons out of it for the future.
Just then, the way your forwards are working, sharing the goals around, does that give you also confidence going to next year when Max comes into the picture? You've had other guys stand up, it takes a bit of pressure off him, but you can get something functioning really, really nicely, I guess.
Yeah, in theory, right?
Yeah.
Like, we felt really good after one performance and Brisbane turned up and just smashed us. So I tend not to look too far ahead. We're really pleased with Max King and what he'll continue to bring to the footy club. And then the growth of those young forwards, you know, with Owens, Caminiti and Sharman, you know. So, I don't get too excited, except really pleased for our fans that have stuck with us. It felt like there was a bit of excitement here tonight. Geelong, bit on the table Saturday night. It was like, felt like a bit more on Broadway than some of the places we've been. But you've got to earn that right, so hopefully we can keep building it out.
Jack Henry was everywhere in the air early, didn't take a mark after half time.
Yeah.
Did you send someone to do a defensive job on him, or was it just...
No, it's a good point. They marked 4 of our first 9 entries, but they were one-on-one battles. But we just spoke about kicking it to the forwards' advantage a little bit more. Like, they're great defenders. If you just don't, they'll sit on your head if it's a poor kick. So I thought after quarter time we kicked it with a bit more method to help our forwards a little bit. There was no defensive role on Jack, but look, it's actually, he's back after some significant injury. Like, he was so significant in their premiership year, so I think they'll be thrilled for the long term that he's back and playing good footy.
You had senior players out there tonight who don't have a deal for next season, but all played important roles. Webster, Wood, Jones, Membry. How much do these performances matter when you're making that decision? Yeah,
everything counts. Yeah, Jimmy's signed, so everything counts. Yeah, no doubt. Every time you roll up, we all get judged, right? So that's why I laugh when everyone said there's not much to play for. We're an AFL, and it was a bit cheeky, but it was like, are you experimenting? Well, I wouldn't have thought so. We've got a huge responsibility to our members, our fans, our sponsors, to be a serious footy club and improve. So, I'm not really here to talk about list management, but every moment counts. We all get judged all the time.
And Bradley Hill subbed out. How was he?
Yeah. So he the young boy Mullen did a really good job of him, but just implored him to run. That chase during the third quarter, he was incredible in the smother. So he just stiffened up in the back. But Caminiti's done a shoulder, so he'll miss, and he's been carrying it a bit, so he's been pretty brave. So he'll get checked out as it cools down, but it's not looking great, to be honest. But and we'll go and watch Sandringham tomorrow.